Archangel Michael says, "Beloved one chosen by the Most High, as I pour these final words into your spirit, I feel the weight of heaven pressing closer to earth, because this is no longer a message of future hope, but a declaration that your appointed time has already begun. For I have been sent to tell you that the shaking, the breaking, the seasons of silence you endured were never the end, but the precise preparation for a beginning so magnificent it will eclipse every moment of suffering you have ever known. And I see you now, carrying in your heart the echoes of unanswered prayers, the scars of betrayals so deep you dared not speak of them, the private tears that stained your pillow in the darkness of countless nights. And I tell you this with all the authority granted me by the King of Kings. None of it was wasted, not a single sigh, not a single cry, not a single moment where you chose to stand even when your knees were buckling under the weight of unseen warfare for heaven. Recorded every act of faith, every prayer whispered through pain, every step you took when all you could see was a valley of shadows. And now those records are being turned into rewards. Those tears are being transformed into rivers of joy, and the wilderness you thought would consume you is about to bloom with a harvest so vast it will overwhelm even your wildest imagination. And beloved, listen carefully, for I must tell you why the enemy fought so violently to keep you stuck in cycles of despair, why every time you seemed close to breakthrough, a fresh wave of opposition arose to knock the breath out of you. It is because he saw what you did not. He caught a glimpse of the scroll in heaven bearing your name and the assignment written upon your life. And he knew that if you ever reached this moment, if you ever made it through the crushing without forfeiting your faith, you would become a weapon in the hand of God so powerful that it would rip holes in the kingdom of darkness and set captives free far beyond your own household. And this is why he tried to bury you under fear, under doubt, under relentless distractions and false accusations. But child of the Almighty, he has failed. He has utterly failed. For you are still here, still breathing, still standing. And now you are stepping into a season where everything that rose up against you will be turned to your advantage. Where the very pits dug to trap, you will become platforms from which you will testify of God's unfailing power. And I tell you this, the tables are turning, the winds are shifting, the tides are reversing, and all of heaven is in motion to deliver to you what was promised. For I see in the Spirit's storehouses being flung open, angels racing forth with armfuls of answered prayers, blessings, and provisions with your name written in gold across them. And they are not coming empty-handed, for they bring healing for your body, restoration for your relationships, financial breakthroughs that will wipe away years of lack, and opportunities so divinely orchestrated that even those who oppose you will stand in awe and declare, "Surely the hand of God has done this." And beloved, there is more, for hidden within this coming outpouring is a sacred gift, a divine surprise prepared by the Father himself, a reward for your endurance that will leave you undone with gratitude. And this gift is not only for your comfort, but for your calling, for it will position you in places of influence. Allow your voice to echo into lives you never imagined reaching, and establish a legacy of light that will outlive your time on this earth. And as I release these words, I feel a surge of heavenly power filling the very atmosphere around you, breaking off the final chains of oppression, silencing every lie that told you this was as good as it would get, and infusing your spirit with fresh strength to rise. And beloved, I am commanded to give you this sign, so you will know beyond any shadow of doubt that the breakthrough is not coming. It is already here. It is already in motion. And the sign is this: within the next 7 days, you will encounter an undeniable confirmation. a sudden phone call or message you thought would never come, a provision arriving from a source you could never have imagined, or an opportunity opening in a way so effortless it will leave you stunned. And when this happens, know that it is heaven's seal upon this word, the evidence that the season of waiting has ended and the season of fulfillment has begun. And I tell you also that the blessings being released now are not small tokens, but pressed down, shaken together, and running over. For the Father is repaying you for years the locust devoured, redeeming the time you thought was lost, and multiplying back to you every seed of faith sown in dry and barren places. And as you receive this word, lift your hands even in your weariness and give thanks, because thanksgiving is the key that will unlock doors faster. Praise is the sound that causes walls to crumble, and faith is the force that pulls the unseen into the seen. And beloved, as I draw this message to its close, hear my final declaration over you. No more delays, no more hindrances, no more cycles of almost but not yet, for the hour has struck, the heavens have aligned, and the decree has gone forth from the throne. This is your season, your time, your appointed hour, and nothing and no one can stop what God is releasing into your life. And as I step back and the Father himself draws near to carry you into this fulfillment, know that all of heaven rejoices over you, for you have overcome, and the miracle you have been praying for is not only on the way. It is here, it is yours, and it will change everything. Jesus whispers, "My beloved child, I have seen you in the silent hours of the night when no one else was awake to witness the weight you were carrying. I have heard the sound of your tears falling like soft rain on your pillow as your heart wrestled with questions too heavy to speak out loud. And I want you to know this. I have never looked away, not for a single moment, for I have been sitting beside you in those moments when you thought you were alone, holding you in my arms, even as your spirit trembled under the crushing weight of fear, doubt, and exhaustion. And though you could not see me with your eyes or hear me with your ears, my presence has been wrapping around you like a blanket, keeping you from sinking under waves that tried to swallow your faith whole. For I know the depth of your pain, the ache in your chest that words cannot express, the memories that haunt you when the world is asleep and your thoughts are louder than ever. And I whisper to you now because it's time you understand that those late night tears have not been ignored. They have not been wasted, for each one has been caught by my hands and placed in the sacred jars of heaven, where they are being turned even now into morning promises, promises that will dawn over your life with such brilliance that every shadow of despair will flee. For I am not a distant observer to your suffering. I am the one who steps into the fire with you, the one who bore your griefs and carried your sorrows so that you would never have to walk through the valley of pain alone. And though the enemy has tried to convince you that I am silent, that your prayers have vanished in empty space, I assure you, my beloved, I have heard every cry, even the ones you didn't dare to speak aloud, even the ones that were only groans from a weary heart. And I have been moving in ways you cannot yet perceive, for my timing is not bound to your clocks or calendars. And though it may seem delayed, the answers are on their way, carried on the wings of angels assigned to your life. And I need you to know that this season of sorrow has not been a punishment, but a preparation. For in the secret places of your suffering, I have been shaping you, refining your faith, and fortifying your spirit for the weight of glory that is about to rest upon you. And though it has felt like I've been silent, I have been speaking in ways your heart will soon understand. Through closed doors that protected you from unseen dangers, through delays that redirected you toward divine appointments, through losses that prune away what could not go with you into the new season I am bringing. And I know there were nights you thought you couldn't take another step, days when even breathing felt like a battle. But beloved, even then you were never forsaken, for my spirit was sustaining you in ways you did not even recognize. And now I whisper with urgency, because you are closer than you realize to the turning of the tide, the breaking of dawn over the long night of your soul. And the promises I've spoken over your life are not empty words. They are living, breathing realities that are about to manifest in ways so sudden and so overwhelming that you will scarcely believe how quickly the darkness gives way to light. And as I speak this, I am dispatching angels to minister to your weary heart, to strengthen your arms for the final stretch, to remind you that even now the seeds you planted in faith are beginning to push through. The soil unseen, for the harvest you have long awaited, is growing silently but surely. And I tell you this also, there are gifts hidden within this season of weeping, treasures buried in the midnight hours that will only be uncovered as you step into the morning light I am bringing. And these treasures are not only for you, but for those I will send into your life. For your testimony will carry power to heal others, to speak life into hearts as broken as yours once was. And I see the enemy has tried to make you believe you are forgotten, that I have overlooked you in favor of others. But I tell you now with all the love in my heart that you have never been forgotten, you have never been invisible to me. For I have engraved your name upon my hands, and every beat of your heart echoes in my ears. And I am preparing even now to astonish you with my goodness, to answer prayers you stopped praying because you thought it was too late, to restore years you thought were wasted, to pour out blessings so abundant that they will spill over into every corner of your life and touch even those who once doubted you. And beloved, as you continue to listen, I will reveal more of what I am doing behind the scenes, the specific signs that will confirm to you that the night is ending and morning is breaking, and the sacred surprise hidden within this next season that will leave you in awe of my love like never before. Jesus says, "My precious child, as my voice reaches the deepest recesses of your soul, I feel your spirit trembling, not out of fear, but because it recognizes the weight of these words as they wrap around you like a warm covering in the cold places where you have felt so unseen, so unloved, so utterly forgotten by the world. And I need you to lean in closer than you ever have, because I am about to take you behind the veil, to show you the sacred orchestration of heaven that has been unfolding in the silence, in the waiting, in the nights when you lay awake replaying every disappointment, wondering if perhaps you were asking for too much, wondering if maybe you were never meant to see the kind of joy your heart has longed for. And I tell you this with tenderness in my voice. You have never been asking for too much, beloved, for I placed those desires within you before time began, not to tease you with dreams you could never touch, but because I wrote them into the blueprint of your destiny. And though the enemy has tried again and again to convince you they were foolish hopes, impossible wishes, childish prayers, I whisper now to shatter every lie he ever spoke over you and declare with all authority that every single promise I breathed over your life is still alive, still active, still waiting for the fullness of time to collide with your present moment. And oh, how I have longed for this hour. For I have watched you crawl through valleys that seemed endless climb, mountains with bloodied hands and weary feet, stand in battles where it felt like all of hell was arrayed against you. And yet you did not let go of me, not even when your faith felt paper thin and your strength reduced to a whisper of a prayer. And beloved, you need to know that I saw you. I heard you. I was fighting for you in realms you could not see, standing between you and destruction when the enemy plotted to take you out completely. And though it felt like I was silent, I was speaking. All along, through the doors that would not open no matter how hard you knocked, through the relationships I removed before they could sabotage your calling, through the sudden interruptions that were my divine protection dressed as disappointment. And now I tell you with all the love of a father who cannot lie that you are entering a season where the scales will finally tip in your favor, where everything that felt stuck and stagnant will begin to move with divine acceleration. And you will see why the process was so painful, why it seemed I was delaying when in truth I was aligning. For what I am about to release over your life requires foundations that can hold a glory so weighty it would have crushed you had I sent it too soon. And even now, I see your spirit rising, feeling the faint warmth of morning after a night so long it made you doubt there would ever be a dawn. And I tell you this, your dawn is not only coming, it is here. It is breaking even as these words fall over you. And the first rays of light will be seen in signs so personal, so undeniable, that your heart will leap within you and you will know without a shadow of doubt. Jesus has done this for me. And as I speak this, I see angels moving swiftly on assignments concerning you, carrying scrolls of answered prayers, provisions, and breakthroughs that have your name written upon them in golden letters. And I tell you to prepare your heart, because what I am bringing is not a trickle of blessing, but a flood that will overtake you, washing away years of dryness and despair. And I know the enemy has whispered, "It's too late for you. Too much time has passed." But hear me now. I am the God who redeems time, and I will restore to you years the locusts have eaten, opportunities you thought were lost forever, relationships you mourned as dead, and I will breathe life into places you declared barren, because I am not finished with you. Beloved, I am just getting started, and there is more I have reserved for you, a hidden gift, a divine surprise so extraordinary it will leave you breathless with gratitude. For I am not only answering what you asked for, I am exceeding it in ways that will bring you to your knees in worship. And as you continue to listen, your spirit will begin to perceive glimpses of this sacred reward, for it is wrapped in layers of my love and tailored to the deepest needs of your heart. Needs you haven't spoken aloud because you thought they were too small or too broken to matter to me. But child, every detail of your life matters to me, and I have been weaving a masterpiece out of the very threads of your pain, and the beauty of what emerges will silence every doubt, every voice that ever questioned my goodness in your life. And as I draw you deeper into this revelation, let my peace settle over you now like a soft rain soaking parched soil, for even now angels are encamping around you, pushing back forces of darkness that sought to steal this moment. And beloved, stay with me in this message, for there is more to come. For in the next moments, I will unveil what has been happening in the spiritual realm while you waited, and show you why this next chapter of your life will not just be a season of restoration, but one of divine acceleration and multiplication beyond anything you have ever imagined. Jesus says, "Beloved child," as these words continue to pour into your spirit, I see your heart trembling, not with fear, but with the dawning realization of the truth I have been whispering to you all along, that despite every moment of loneliness, every night soaked with tears, every day marked by struggle and unanswered questions, you have been held by a love so fierce and unyielding that nothing could sever the bond between your soul and mine. And though you have walked through deserts of doubt and valleys shadowed by despair, I have been there every step, even when you felt lost or abandoned. For my promise to you is unbreakable, and I am the God who not only sees your pain, but transforms it into power, your trials into testimonies, and your weakness into a strength that defies human understanding. And I know you have carried burdens too heavy for your own strength, burdens that felt like they would crush you. Yet you pressed on, fueled by a flicker of faith that I planted deep inside your heart. And now that flicker is becoming a flame, a blazing fire that will light your way through the darkest night. And beloved, hear me now. The days of waiting and wondering are nearly over, for the heavens are shifting in your favor. Angels are moving swiftly to prepare your way, and the mountains that seemed insurmountable are beginning to bow before the authority I am bestowing upon you. And I see the enemy trying desperately to hold you back, sending waves of doubt, fear, and distraction. But his schemes are unraveling, his power is breaking, and the chains that once bound your destiny are shattering. And with every broken chain, a new door opens to blessings so vast, so profound, that even your wildest dreams will pale in comparison. And I am about to reveal to you why these blessings have been delayed, not as a punishment or oversight, but as a sacred strategy designed by heaven itself. For the timing of your breakthrough is perfect, tailored exactly to the moment. Your spirit is fully ready to receive it without being overwhelmed. For the glory that awaits you is weighty, and only a vessel refined by fire can carry it. And beloved, that refining process has been happening within you all along, even when you didn't realize it, even when you questioned your own worth. For you are precious in my eyes, crafted for a purpose greater than you can yet comprehend. And I see a great reversal coming in your life, where every loss will be repaid, every tear wiped away, and every door that was slammed shut will be flung wide open by the hand of God. And this reversal is not just for you, but for those you love, as your breakthrough will ripple out to heal wounds in your family, restore relationships long broken, and ignite hope where despair once reigned. And I tell you this because the enemy knows the power of your testimony, and that is why he has fought so hard to silence you, to convince you that you are not enough. But hear me clearly, you are more than enough. You are my beloved child, chosen and anointed, and the gifts I am releasing through you will shake the foundations of darkness itself. And as I speak these words, I see angels encamped around you, fighting fiercely on your behalf, breaking the chains of generational curses, closing portals of oppression, and releasing blessings that have been held back for years. And these blessings will manifest in every area of your life: financial provision, physical healing, emotional restoration, spiritual awakening, and divine opportunities that will leave even your enemies marveling at the hand of God in your life. And I am sending you a sign to confirm this word. Within the next week, you will receive a message, a phone call, or an encounter so perfectly timed and so deeply meaningful that it will shake your heart and confirm without doubt that I am moving on your behalf. And beloved, do not doubt when this sign comes. Receive it with a heart full of faith and gratitude, for it is the seal of heaven upon this promise. And as you prepare to step into this new season, I urge you to hold fast to hope, to nurture your faith, and to keep your eyes fixed on me. For I am your strength, your refuge, your ever-present help in times of trouble, and the source of every blessing flowing into your life. And as I bring this message to its crescendo, know that I am with you always, even to the end of the age. And nothing can separate you from my love, for you are destined for glory, and your miracle is already on the way.